Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. And this will be the implementation for your project. Since a lot of you were able to ask a question in my MS team or in the messengers, I just wanted to give a simple breakthrough about your project. However, this is just a limited hint. I will not be going to give you everything that was instructed in your midterm project. Or this is just for the Litera students. Now, suppose that we will be going to have here a number of students. Say, for example, in this case, that afterwards you have to put. Suppose we have five numbers only, so we could somewhat do like that. Then the name of the student, say for example, then their names. Okay, baby Mako, baby Kitatas. All right, so here then for suppose that this will be the quiz one. This is just an example actually. Since you have to make sure to work in it right there. So say for example, this will be the equivalent. Yeah. So if you wanted to like gusto mo siya pagamihan and then you want a big quiz, the three pwede mo siya ipadalo, you can somewhat like that do. Click one, then highlight everything, all will be, you click the wrap text. Or if you cannot work on that, you just have to click the number one and then you can easily search the wrap, and then once you search the wrap, it will definitely, if you are using Windows, it will eventually show the wrap text and you can click that automatically. So therefore, say for example, this will be the implementations that we will be going to deal with. So this is just an example of the or the walkthrough in how to do it. So say for example here, what I was to our I will be need to put the total score, and then suppose that the total score is 50 and here is 100 and 150, for example. So our formula that we will consider for getting the equivalent of any quizzes or in any it could be a, like say for example, grades or quizzes or activity or project or your exam that is as always equals to the total number of score of the student. And then afterwards, you have to divide that into the total number of the items. And then afterwards, those are they are the inside parameters or they are the inside functions. Then after you were able to calculate them, you have to multiply those two into times 50 plus 50 in order for you to achieve the equivalency of your grades or score. Say, for example, since this will be the quiz that you do have, so you have to get that is the total number of items. First quiz is having of items is 50, then 100 and 150. So in order for you to accumulate everything, you have to sum it up or total the number of items right there. So equals sum afterwards, double click, you have to press equals, then type sum, and then double click sum, and then just hand type them. Then click enter, and that is the total number of items. So suppose that we have here a random score for the students, for example, that they achieve this. Say, for example, then here, this is just a I know how example on those things, and then Okay. So since we were able to have already the random score of the students, now we have to multiply the total number of score of this one, divide that into 300 is the total number of items that you have, and then you have to multiply that into the times 50, I mean times 50 as plus 50 as well. So we have to click equal sign and open parenthesis, and then since you will begin to put them in a parameter inside a bracket, I mean the open parenthesis, so it must be like that. So the sum of the total number of score of the students. So isum mo siya danay. So the sum of that, you will divide that into 300. So since you were able to divide it into 300, you have, or say for example, ibutang mo na lang siya sa parentheses, since they could somewhat um deal with that, then divide by 300 and then close, then times 50 plus the 50. So when you click enter, that is the equivalency score of of the student itself. So those are actually how does it work. Say for example, gusto ko i-change ang akin na this one here. I could somewhat change that. It could be angle anti-clockwise, something like that. We could somewhat deal with here. So I will not be going to wrap that anymore. I will remove the wrap. So something like that. Okay. So now, all right. Or instead of that, vertical na lang. Um, sorry, rotate text up, or depende sa inyo ha. It is somewhat depend on your cases if what will be your how will you do it, everything. So since we were able to handle the calculation already and the equivalency is 88, then drag it down, then you're done. So the equivalency will be 40%, for example. So equal sign, then that's that one, and times 40%. So click that one, and then you just have to drag it down. So the same implementation for those activity, if what will be the percentage of, for example, your activity, you have 40%. So this is for the class ending. So 40%, no, 60%, say for example, for your activity, if and only if you don't have assignment. Now, for example, arena di ang total sa 60 conversion sa equivalent sa activity. So that then here will be the class standing. For the class standing, ano na siya, that is the calculation of, I will not be going to illustrate that here anymore because I want you to be the one to explore everything. For the class standing, that is the sum of your 40%, as well as you have to click control, then click the 60% so that you can sum up this one here. And that will be the grades of the students in itself for the class ending already. And what will be the percentage of class ending? It could be 40%. And later on, there will be a project. There will be a equivalent for the project and 20% of the project. So on, and that's actually how does it work. And then until you could able to work on with the other functions or everything. Those are the implementations accordingly. So be mindful with that. I was able to give you the hint already, and I will not be going to explain anything as we go through because I don't want to give you a lot of tips in your project. So thank you so much. I hope that is clear for everybody, and goodbye.